Hello everybody. So I don't know if you remember, but at the end of my M31/M33 gas mask review, I said that I have something else that you're going to see involving these gas masks. Well, this is it. I actually own quite a few of them, and I thought it'd be a good time to make a video because I just sold all of these. But I've had these crates and I was going through them to repackage them, and I actually think I may have found the answer to one of the questions I brought up in that video about the manufacturer of the canisters. And here's one of the canisters like I have in the video, one of the post-war ones. But as I was digging through one of these boxes, I realized one crate is completely full of original German canisters. This is an actual pre-World War II 1936 dated canister. And all of the ones from this crate that I pulled out and opened up, which was only a couple because the person I sold these masks to wants to leave them in the wrapper, they all have 1936 dates. So that most likely means that these were provided as war aid before World War II, and these weren't just canisters that the Spanish acquired after World War II when there were tons of this kind of surplus on the market. But yeah, if you look in these crates, 3 of them actually have this little insert. So you got masks in the wrapper on one side, you got filters, and then canisters, some wrapped, some were never wrapped. There's 4 of these guys, and they've all got about 25 canisters each in them. Then you see there's a multitude of different types of filters. This is the kind like that was in my video. There's some in wrapper down here. And then there's this other kind. This is the overflow bin right here that has the open bottom, no seal, except for the cap on the lid there. But let me see if I can find an example of the M31 gas mask, because that's not the kind that I showed in my full review video. So I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at some of the masks that I didn't have time to discuss in the video and look at some of the different markings you might encounter. So if we start over here, you'll see this is an M31, and I mentioned these in the video. They are essentially identical to the M33s except for the M31 marking. Now if we come over here, we have another M33, but well, real quick, actually you see this white stuff, that's what I believe is talcum powder, and that was put on to prevent the mask from sticking to itself when it was wrapped up in paper. This has a star logo, and that is the logo for Pirelli, the other manufacturer of these masks. And Pirelli's mask, as far as I can tell, were all this tan rubber, both their 31s and their 33s. So we have Pirelli logo and the IAC logo. Now finally, over here we have another M33, but this has something different. You'll notice 3 tiny stars above the M33, and each one of those represents 1 year. And this is how you can date these masks. So 1933 plus 3 years is 1936. So this was produced in 1936, whereas these guys were both produced in 1933 and 1931 respectively. So that's how you can date these. Now one last thing I want to cover is what are the differences between the Spanish manufactured canisters and the actual German ones. Well, the most noticeable thing is the latch mechanism. You can see this one is pretty flimsy, just uses a loop. This one is very nicely made on the German can, a bit more complicated and robust, with a nice little cloth pull. Now, if you look at the grooves, it might be a little bit hard to tell, but they're a lot thicker and much better, or a lot deeper rather, and better stamped into the can than the ones on the Spanish version. The little loops on the back side of the can were used for putting on your strap. And you can see these are a lot thicker. And again, I mean, the theme overall is the German can is just better manufactured. Now, if we open it up, this lid's a little stiff, so there we go. Here's our spare lens compartment. And that right there, if it'll focus, is a logo and the 1936 date. So this is how we know this is an original German can. Now if we open it up in the spare lens compartment, you have this little springy retaining clip, which the Spanish cans do not have.